part, I've not seen any numbers that Frank was referring to where it's 1 or 2 pennies on the dollar that's being sent to workers. When companies have extra money like this, they can invest it in their workers. They can do the things that Disney's done. They can increase the minimum wage, which many of them have done. They can reinvest it in their company, making them more competitive, creating more opportunities to be able to hire more employees. This is all good. I'm a little bit baffled at the idea that all this good that's happening, but it's not enough good when the other party totally voted against even this. So I'm happy with what we got, and I think most Americans are too, even if they don't get the Disney bonuses or the $15 an hour minimum.
And Rod, I guess here's the question to you. Do folks like yourself basically throw out all criticism that this was the right type of tax plan done in the right way?
Do we throw out, in other words, the Democrats' criticism?
Not just Democrats, but there are plenty of people out there who question about the tactics, the strategy, and what this tax plan is designed to do.
Well, I wouldn't say I would throw it all out. I think the tactics and the strategy as far as getting it passed is just how Congress works. But as far as how the content...
The impact.
Yeah, the content and impact of it. I think I don't throw it all out, but when I listen to it, all I keep hearing as a criticism, essentially, is the best ground possible from my point of view, and that's that the tax relief wasn't enough. I think if our conversation at this table is that there wasn't enough middle-income tax relief, I'm totally on board to coming back next year and seeing what we can do about that. Look, the reason for those numbers is that the top percent of income earners pay outlandish amount of the total taxes. So the top 1% earn 21% of earned income, but they pay 39% of taxes. And if you take just the income tax before and after, they'll be paying an actual larger percentage overall, which is why some conservative sites have been complaining it's actually a progressive plan in that respect.
So, Michael,
I think to what he was saying, though, was the description he is of people buying F-150 trucks and going to restaurants. They're buying a lot because there's so much more money. That is exactly supply-side economics. That's exactly what you would expect to be seeing from a strong economy and an effective tax cut even before it's taken effect. I think once people really see what it is and it starts taking effect over the next several months, you're going to see a really dramatically different attitude towards the tax plan from Americans when polls are done. Huffington Post just had a poll. It's already 10 percentage points more popular than it was when it was passed.
And for those people who are not invested in the stock market, other than a 401k, they're not really joining in that success.
I agree.
Unless that company then, because of what he just described, is able to reinvest in their company, is able to hire more people, then actually it can participate.
Wait, is there a difference between hiring more people and increasing middle income?
Well, there might be, or there might not be. Depends. I think that the wage stagnation one is not a tax policy discussion. It's a regulation discussion because regulation costs so much for businesses. And if you have less regulation, you might have more money available to pay employees and technology.
All right, we have
So you get a little benefit now, big squeeze coming down the road.
Respond to that, Ron.
Baffled again at the sudden discovery of the deficit by Democrats after it went up $10 trillion.
Be that as it may.
But look,
Baffled
we're talking
by this suddenly, it doesn't matter anymore to the
so
Republicans.
1.5 trillion over 10 years, when it was 10 trillion in 8 years, 1.5 trillion over 10 years, on top of the 20-some trillion it is now, we're talking about 7.5%. So I don't think it's Armageddon, as one senator called it, to add that to the deficit. Plus, I don't think we will, because I think because of the supply side sort of economics we're seeing happen, and because of the growing economy, you are going to see growing revenues that you don't see in the CBO budget analysis of it, and that's actually going to reduce that deficit rate.